What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Happy Thanksgiving, my American friends. Canada does not have Thanksgiving today. We had it last month. Side story. It's because harvest happens in Canada a month early because it's so friggin' cold. So yeah, that's the deal there. But happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are having a great one. Despite it being Thanksgiving, Nico is still here, of course, to bring us the latest and greatest. He had, don't worry, he did his family stuff. So he's coming in to give you a nice Thanksgiving greeting and let you know what's been going on in Bitcoin. Of course, this is live. Anything can happen. So I defer to my friend Bill here.
Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
If you have not already, please do like, subscribe, share, all those things. They help a ton getting this content in front of more eyeballs. I am Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your Simply Session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.
Before we dive in, let's take a quick look at where we are in the market right now. This is timechain.calendar.com. We're sitting at $95,624 per coin. Yellow is still in purgatory, at least for a little bit longer. Single US dollar will grab you 1,046 sats. In terms of fees, 6 sats next block. And in terms of Bitcoin mined, 19.78 million of them. All right. I don't know. Did I lose everybody?
But you're back.
I'm back. I don't know. Something just crapped out on me there, but we're here.
We're live.
So we are. I don't know if it like started a new stream or what, but there's,
I think it's the same one. I think you're good. You're back.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Well, whatever people saw in between there, welcome back. We'll hit the sponsors in a minute. But dude, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Let me make us prettier here. We need our what the hell is going on here? Holy God, what a mess. There we go. Okay. Yeah. How you doing, man? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, bro. Happy Turkey Day. My family's weird. We're like Hispanic, so we have Thanksgiving lunch instead of Thanksgiving dinner.
Hell yeah.
So it gave me time to make Simply Sessions, and I discovered that I can make my voice evil on my soundboard. Check it out.
Oh.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That's great. Perfect. This is, very festive, I think.
I love the holidays.
We missed Halloween with that. That would have been an opportune time.
Oh
So
man, that's right. That's
yeah,
right. I should have worn like a pilgrim hat or something.
yeah,
It would
yeah.
have been it would have been perfect. But
Would have been fantastic. But
next time for
hindsight
Christmas,
is
I'm gonna
20.
wear something.
Yeah, you're coming to the Christmas. Did you see the lineup for the Christmas show?
It's pretty crazy, but I wasn't included in the list, so I was very sad.
You're there. Don't worry.
I'm there in spirit for sure.
Yeah, you're going to be. You've been inserted. Don't worry.
I'm excited. It's gonna be great.
And we're gonna do a little year end thing. We got something brewing for the week after the Christmas special.
Yep. It's gonna be really fun. I think the more we don't tell opties, the better, and just kind of throw them into it. And I think it'd be hilarious.
Perfect. All right, we're gonna go for it. Well, either way, thanks for being here on a special American holiday and putting in the time. So I appreciate it. But I'll toss it to you. What's been going on this week? What is exciting in Bitcoin?
Yeah, so this was pretty huge. I mean, Sailor was like kind of Sailor was putting pressure on Rumble. So Rumble is a alternative video platform, and like it really came to prominence when even though I love YouTube and I know you do, Ben, there has been some interesting things that have happened in YouTube's past where certain content creators were being deplatformed for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. I'm just going to leave it at that. And because of that, some of them seeked a alternative video platform. And one of the most popular right now, I would say, is X and Rumble. And Rumble, you know, again, they're very pro free speech. They had a presence at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville this year. They had a whole booth, and they announced that they're going to make Bitcoin part of their Treasury strategy, which is extremely exciting. So here's the official press release. It says, Rumble is a publicly traded company. The ticker is RUM, RUM on NASDAQ. The video sharing platform and cloud service provider announced today that its board of directors has approved a corporate treasury diversification strategy of allocating a portion of the company's excess cash reserves to Bitcoin. This move emphasizes Rumble's belief in Bitcoin as a valuable tool for strategic planning and is designed to accelerate the company's expansion into cryptocurrency. Rumble's Bitcoin allocation strategy will include purchases at the discretion of the company of up to $20 million. Quote, "We believe that the world is still in the early stages of the adoption of Bitcoin, which has recently accelerated with the election of crypto-friendly U.S. presidential administration and increased institutional adoption. Unlike any government-issued currency, Bitcoin is not subject to dilution through endless money printing, enabling it to be a valuable inflation hedge and an excellent addition to our treasury," said Rumble chairman and CEO Chris Pavlovski. Quote, "We are also excited to strengthen our ties with crypto and to bolster our efforts to becoming the leading video and cloud service provider for the crypto community. The actual timing and value of Bitcoin purchases, if any, under the allocation strategy will be determined by management in its discretion and will depend on several factors, including, among others, general market and business conditions, the trading price of Bitcoin, and the anticipated cash needs of Rumble." So I think this is absolutely massive. This is a continuation of the trend that not only are we seeing on an individual level, we're seeing on a nation state level. Of course, the United States federal government, the state level, according to Dennis Porter, we had an announcement coming out of the state of Pennsylvania that they're looking to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset. A politician in Brazil introduced a bill into the Brazilian legislative body that would make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset. Morocco unbanned Bitcoin since that ban was in place since 2017. Russia unbanned Bitcoin mining. And Poland also, we have politicians there that are also talking about a strategic reserve asset. The Simply Show today, we covered essentially China kind of doing a 180 a court in China ruled that Bitcoin is actually legal for people to own on an individual level. So you're seeing a complete 180, and this is because, as this Rumble press announcement mentioned, the incoming Trump administration is not only going to be positive towards the industry from a regulatory perspective, but if Trump gets his way through Congress, there's a non-zero chance, according to Polymarket, the odds are around 30-40% right now, that the United States makes the Bitcoin that it has in custody, about 200,000 or so, into a strategic reserve asset. And if the bill that Cynthia Lummis introduced in the Senate passes, it would actually make it so that the United States starts buying Bitcoin with its money printer. So if you think these Michael Saylor purchases are crazy, like imagine when the world governments that have money printers behind them start buying the only asset in the world that has absolute scarcity. That's going to be absolutely crazy. So the Rumble news in itself, it is a big deal, but if you connect it with everything else, the institutional adoption of Bitcoin, the nation state adoption of Bitcoin, it looks like 2025 is going to be an explosive year, to say the least.
Yeah, that's wild. Again, when you lay it all out, all of the people making moves or nations making moves or whatever it may be, and they're all kind of looking into, let's use this to store the fruits of our labor. Let's use it, or I use fruits of our labor very loosely here when you can just fucking print money. But nonetheless, they're trying to store purchasing power and grow it. And that's an interesting thing. So the one thing about the Rumble announcement that I'm curious to see how it plays out over time is I saw somebody after the announcement. It's obviously having a Bitcoin reserve is a great strategy, but it's a strategy that works when you are cash flow positive. And it can work when you're not sitting on and where you don't have a good cash flow if it's going up. But if it's going down, then you end up screwing yourself if you need to tap into your reserves. And somebody did a look at the financials on Rumble, and they've got a big reserve right now, but they've got a big burn rate as well. So they're spending more money than they're making. And so they'll probably do fine through the bull run. But I'm curious how that pans out on the other side if they can't hit profitability before the bull run is over. That could end up really being them shooting themselves in the foot. And this is kind of what Bitcoin fixes too. Like you can't be on a Bitcoin standard if you don't have your ledger in order. If you don't have, if you haven't worked out the economics of everything and you're not spending less than you earn. So yeah, that'll be a tricky one, but all the other nation state stuff, that's pretty wild. And the other wild card in it is, again, when you can print money to buy finite money, at some point that breaks the money that you're printing. And that's 100%. A fun thing to think about too.
100%. And just to kind of give a little bit of flavoring to this, where was this? Yeah, here we go. So this actually just broke 52 minutes ago, just to kind of give you an idea of how much is going on. It just like on the nation state level, Switzerland studies Bitcoin mining for grid stability. By the way, you have the Kingdom of Bhutan looking into Bitcoin mining as well. No, not looking into Bitcoin mining. 1/3 of their GDP is in Bitcoin, of which they didn't seize from so-called criminals. They literally mined it ethically. This little tiny Buddhist kingdom. It's so funny. Like, we played you guys a documentary clip of it, and they're like, they value happiness over money. Isn't that fitting that they say that? And then they go balls deep and have 1/3 of their GDP. It's hilarious. Anyways, here's more information here. Switzerland's canton of Bern has recently passed legislation to conduct a study on Bitcoin mining. The study aims to explore how Bitcoin mining might stabilize the energy grid by utilizing surplus energy, particularly from renewable sources. The legislation was passed with an 85 to 46 vote, highlighting a proactive approach towards integrating cryptocurrency with energy management solutions. Here is pretty crazy. Dennis Porter, I can confirm that BlackRock is now endorsing a strategic Bitcoin reserve, which would make sense from an incentives perspective. Here's Dennis Porter saying, I am now in a race to pass strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation into law before Donald Trump can sign an SBR executive order. Cynthia Lummis says, which is a U.S. senator, by the way, so great that we finally in a race to win the future instead of a race to the bottom of the pile. So that means that the federal government is essentially competing with state governments to see who could make a strategic Bitcoin reserve first. That is gnarly, right? And here is Adam Back. Adam Back, of course, Bitcoin legends, literally quoted in the Bitcoin white paper or sourced in the Bitcoin white paper. I don't know what the correct term is, but he was mentioned in the Bitcoin white paper. Okay. And he says, quote, if the US strategic Bitcoin reserve happens, prepare for 7-figure Bitcoin this cycle. The market is skeptical on meaningful follow through for now. So that is not at all priced in. And that's 100% right. Because if you look at the poly market odds, remember, the betting odds were the most accurate at predicting the 2024 election. All the polls, the vast majority of them were wrong. If you take a look at the betting odds right now, it's a 28% it's going to happen with an all-time high of 48 cents on November 21st. So, I mean, if I would have told you that there was a 28% chance that the United States government was actually going to buy Bitcoin and put it on its balance sheet, or on its treasury, I don't know what the fuck the term is, whatever, you would have said, I don't believe you, right? So this is absolutely insane. This is gnarly. This is crazy. Bitcoin is winning hard, and this is going to continue. This is massive. Big news overall. I do want to emphasize this before I kind of move to the next subject or whatever, that there's two things in Bitcoin that people really got to pay attention to. There's Bitcoin, the investment, and then there's Bitcoin, the revolution. Bitcoin, the revolution is individuals all around the world taking custody of their keys, taking self-custody. If enough of us do it around the world, we actually change things. If the vast majority of people are holding their Bitcoin with Coinbase, we are right back at where we started, back at stage one. So you want to take self-custody. It's important. Number go up is good. But you don't want to look at the numbers of on your screen and all of a sudden you get FTX'd or you get Mt. Gox'd, or you get 6102'd. And they send you a very nice email apologizing, but your money's gone. Poof. You know the South Park episode? And it's gone. So you want to take self-custody. That's really important. But regardless, all of this news is extremely bullish. And I'll say this, and I'm not just saying this because it's Thanksgiving and this is hopium and whatever. I absolutely agree with Adam Back. Bitcoin would go, maybe not a million, but it would go absolutely bananas if that hit the news cycle that the United States government was buying Bitcoin. Like the price is going to go insane because it legitimizes it. It's already legitimized in the eyes of TradFi because of BlackRock and the ETF. But if the United States government puts its stamp of approval, it would be legitimized in the eyes of nation states worldwide, and China, Russia. That's why all these countries are changing their opinions, by the way. It's not because they're like, oh, we found Satoshi, we're going to change our opinion. No. They're like, oh, snapagada. The United States might buy Bitcoin. We don't want to get caught with our pants down.
Yeah. And I want to address, there's some comments that are saying like, oh, well, like governments buying Bitcoin we should be cheering them on. BlackRock buying Bitcoin, we shouldn't be cheering. It's not necessarily cheering on the fact that governments are going to own Bitcoin or BlackRock is going to own and hold Bitcoin. It's more, in my opinion, the celebratory part of it is the fact that the game theory is indeed playing out as it was kind of anticipated, right? Like that everybody everywhere is going to start to see that there's value in this thing, and it's basically people are going to try and get their hands on it. And furthermore, somebody owning lots of Bitcoin doesn't give them control of Bitcoin. And people say, oh, well, they can manipulate the price and dump it. Yeah, but you can dump it once and then what? And so like we've had since inception, we've had a history of what if such and such dumps it? What if Satoshi dumps the coins? What if they dump the Mt. Gox coins? What if they dump the coins from Silk Road? What if Elon Musk dumps his Bitcoin? And I think at some point or another, if entities that buy up Bitcoin and then try to threaten Bitcoin by saying, well, we're going to dump it, we all need to channel our inner Max Kaiser and just say, fuck Elon. Who cares? Dump it. Dump it. Go ahead. Great. Cheaper sats for all of us. So like the power afforded to somebody by owning a bunch of Bitcoin is very temporary insofar as the purchasing power that they get from it. So fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to one of my cousins in Thanksgiving, and of course, I did two things this year. I just wore this hoodie. I literally everyone dressed up for Thanksgiving. I wore Crocs with like the little charms with the Bitcoin logo, and I wore this hoodie and pajama pants. Why did I do that? Well, two things. Trump won and Bitcoin almost was at 100K. So I was kind of like in this like, fuck you, everyone. So I was extremely obnoxious. And all I said was Trump 2024 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin. That was like, I was that obnoxious uncle or whatever at Thanksgiving, didn't care. And yeah. It was great.
That's awesome, man. I love it. That's fantastic.
Okay, so moving on to this one. Again, just a continuation of the trend. Goldman Sachs holds $710 million in Bitcoin ETFs. So the reason that this is such a big deal is because Goldman Sachs is a bank that is known for high net worth individual wealth management banking. And they have a very kind of conservative outlook on Bitcoin. I'll read you this lady's quote. This lady is the, let me get her. Yeah, so like not only has Goldman Sachs been critical of Bitcoin in the past, but the private wealth management chief investment officer is skeptical, quote unquote, skeptical of crypto. She says, quote, we do not think it is an investment asset class. Quote, we're not believers in crypto, right? And she was comparing it to the tulip mania. What are we, back in 2016, bro? But again, don't pay attention to what they say. Pay attention to what they do. And what they do, according to the SEC filing, is that Goldman Sachs holds $710 million worth of Bitcoin. Now, it could be for two reasons. Reason number one, this is the bank themselves, or this is the bank on behalf of their clients. Because a lot of these wealth managers, they don't want to lose their clients, right? And if their clients are going to them and be like, hey, man, this Bitcoin thing, like, could you get me exposure to it? Like, do you think they're going to be like, we actually don't like it? Do you know what MicroStrategy has done this year? It's done like a 6x, bro. So it's kind of like, they can only hold that narrative up for so long until it kind of blows up in their face, man. Look, Bitcoin makes everyone kind of bow down eventually. You either get on board or you get left behind. So it's just crazy that one of the most well-respected, well-known banks in the world, whose ex-CEOs end up being Treasury secretaries all the time in the U.S., essentially it's official that they hold $710 million worth of Bitcoin. Pretty effing crazy.
Again, we're sorting through all these stories, and if we could show these headlines to people in like 2017, even in at the like the peak of the bull run, people would think you're crazy. It's
Oh,
wild.
for sure. Absolutely. 100%. And it keeps going. Morocco preparing law to allow cryptocurrencies. A draft law on cryptocurrencies is undergoing the process of adoption in Morocco. Cryptocurrencies have been banned in Morocco since 2017, but the public continues to use them underground, circumventing restrictions. How funny is that, bro?
That's great. I mean, it's the perfect example of you can't ban Bitcoin. You can only ban yourself from Bitcoin.
Yeah, and then the government's like, oh, you know, we're just gonna reverse the ban. No one was following it anyways, right?
oh, now everybody will use it. Oh, wait,
dude. So it's interesting to say the least. But you know, this is an indication that we're winning. Yeah, man. So another kind of theme that we've touched upon on Simply a lot is kind of like this idea of the death of the legacy media. And we've been making the case that we are the media now. And, you know, I'll make the case that essentially what we're witnessing is the great disintermediation enabled by the internet. So the internet has allowed mass scale peer-to-peer communications. And essentially that has replaced traditional media because now people are doing their own research. What we've learned, what traditional media has been doing over the last 5 years is they're not really journalists. They're more so propagandists. The only difference is that like now we have a very efficient manner in social media, in protocols like Noster, to literally call out their bullshit in real time. So like The Guardian, or especially since Elon acquired Twitter and made it into X, these publications, they post their news. The difference is that they post it on X and it will literally get fact checked on X. And the way that they're reacting to it reminds me of how central bankers are reacting to Bitcoin when they say it's not money. My answer to that is like, you don't determine what money is, the market does. And what's really funny about this next video that I want to play is, these people don't determine what is media. The market determines what is media. But take a look at how upset the CEO of Axios is. Elon was trolling him a little bit because it seems like the amount of page views and clicks that Axios is getting continues to hit record lows, and the amount of traction that X is getting continues to hit record highs. So take a look at this circle jerk melting down stuff. You are the media now, Anon. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
This damn debate about like, oh, we don't need the media. Like, it is not true. Think about what makes this. I love this country. I'm a beneficiary of this country. Like some from Wisconsin who can come and start 2 companies, be up here, win an award, sit next to Mikey. I'm a beneficiary of it. But there's something about the country. There's something about it, right? There's something about freedom, capitalism, the animal spirits of democracy. But at the core of that is maybe transparency, maybe a free press, maybe the ability to do your job without worrying to go to jail, maybe the ability to sit in a war zone and tell people what's actually happening so they're not just looking at distortion. Matters. It matters profoundly. It's why it's not like we just love getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning doing this every single day. Like, we do it because we love it. We do it because it matters. The work that we do matters. Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media. You are the media. My message to Elon Musk is bullshit. You're not the media. You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. Any more than me looking at your head and seeing that you have a brain and telling you have an awesome set of tools makes me a damn neurosurgeon, right? Like, what we do, what journalists do, what you did in Mississippi, what Al Jazeera does in the Middle East. You don't proclaim yourself to be a reporter. Like, that's nonsense. Like, being a reporter's hard, really hard.
I mean, bro,
He's flailing both emotionally and physically. Like every time he talks, he's losing his mind. I love it.
dude, it's just look, if you have to tell someone that they're not the media anymore and that you're the media, you're probably not the media anymore. Like, I'll be honest with you.
Oh man. I mean, it's and like the nervous like clapping after one of his points, and it's just like a room full of people like patting themselves on the back, hoping that they'll still have jobs in 5 years.
Dude, it's crazy. And I'm telling you, like, what I think we're going to witness in the next 5 to 10 years, and I think it's going to be very similar to how social media replaced traditional media.
Mhm.
I think it's going to happen slowly, and then one day when you're going to wake up and just the vast majority of people are just using a non-sovereign alternative form of money.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be very consequential because the implications of that on society are enormous, man, because you take away one of the government's main funding mechanisms, dude. What are they going to do? Like, I remember seeing this like this chess grandmaster on Twitter, goes by the name of like Fisher. He was like #1 like back in like the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
And he was like, all these Bitcoin bros, like I could tell, like they just want to get rich and they just want to make money, but they have no idea that the tech behind this, like the implications for society, if this gets, implemented, are insane. Like this is going to be like one of the greatest battles of our time. And look at how much they fought to keep control of the narrative. They did it in Canada, right? I believe the government was like funding like all these quote unquote public media stations.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, like you couldn't post certain things unless it was like funded by I remember like on Instagram, if you posted certain news stories, it was like censored by it was like something crazy like that.
Oh, it's still that. Like if you go on
Dude,
Instagram
so
or
nuts.
something, or Facebook, like for the people on those platforms, if you go on and you search like CBC or like any of the major Canadian news sites or whatever, it's just like this content is not available in your region.
It's so fucking crazy.
So like I can see shit on X, but if you go on some other stuff, it just doesn't show up.
So fucking crazy. But it's exciting. It's exciting. And I think this trend is going to continue. And I think it's the era of independent media. Remember, the media spent the last 4 years trying to convince everyone that Trump was a Nazi, essentially.
Yeah.
And people cared more about what he had to say on Joe Rogan, which YouTube's apparently, maybe it was a mistake. I don't know for certain. But Rogan claims that, YouTube was throttling that specific video. And that video got, I think like 50, 60 million views. It was just absolutely gnarly. Anyways, another news, in Brazil, like I was saying earlier, I have to translate this because this is in Portuguese and I don't know how to read Portuguese. There we go. In Brazil, a parliamentarian by the name of Eros Bondini filed a bill in the chamber this Monday. The bill proposes a strategic sovereign reserve of Bitcoins by the Brazilian government. Absolutely crazy. Now, speaking of Joe Rogan, here is Mark Andreessen. I believe he's a very very successful and very well-known kind of venture capitalist, I believe. And he's explaining to Joe Rogan about Operation Choke Point 2.0, something that we have covered in depth on Simply Sessions.
What's going on, man? My Canadian internet, I'm just keep on getting censored by Trudeau here.
You're coming in clean on my side.
Okay, well, I keep on dropping on my end. So, anyways,
we might be over the target. So here's Mark Andreessen. Let's check it out.
This started about 15 years ago with this thing called Operation Choke Point, where they decided to, as marijuana started to become legal, as prostitution started to become legal, and then guns, which there's always a fight about. Under the Obama administration, they started to debank legal marijuana businesses, escort businesses, and then gun shops, just like your gun manufacturers, and just like you're done, you're out of the banking system. And so if you're running a medical marijuana dispensary in 2012, like you, guess what? You're doing your business all in cash because you literally can't get a bank account. You can't get a Visa terminal. You can't process transactions. You can't do payroll. You can't do direct deposit. You can't get insurance. Like none of that stuff is, you've been sanctioned, right? None of that stuff is available. And then this administration extended that concept to apply it to tech founders, crypto founders, and then just generally political opponents. So, yeah, so that's been like super pernicious.
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, 100%. And this is called, so it was Operation Choke Point 1.0 was 15 years ago against the pot and the guns. Choke Point 2.0 is primarily against their political enemies and then to their disfavored tech startups. And it's hit the tech world like we've had like 30 founders debanked in the last 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a big recurring pattern.
30.
This is one of the reasons why we ended up supporting Trump. It's like we can't live in this world. We can't live in a world where somebody starts a company that's a completely legal thing and then they literally like get sanctioned, right, and embargoed by the United States government through a completely unaccountable, by the way, no due process. None of this is written down. There's no rules. There's no court. There's no decision process. There's no appeal. Who do you appeal to, right? Like who do you go to get your bank account back?
Dude, okay. So what's really effing crazy about that is there's no due process. It's just a bureaucrats basically saying, oh, that person doesn't deserve a bank account. And now these same crazy mother effers want us to trust them with the central bank digital currency. I mean, Ben, you lived through this, bro, right? Like this is nuts. Like the idea that you can just shut off someone's money. But I'm very glad that he didn't talk about the Bitcoin aspect of it, but I didn't even know how all-encompassing Operation Choke Point 2.0 was, because it wasn't just against the Bitcoin and crypto industry. Apparently, it was against the tech industry as well. Essentially, if you were a political opponent of the regime, they would go after your banking. Yeah. That is gnarly, dude. That is crazy. That is so nuts. So if anyone tells me that Bitcoin isn't useful, like, here you have it.
Yeah. And it's funny because like in the context of seeing some of that.
This started about 15 years ago.
Sorry,
this thing called Operation.
Right.
Sorry about that.
But in the context of seeing some of that at the time, it was kind of like, oh, of course, like the banks don't like Bitcoin, it's competition, but like it's deeper. It was deeper than that, right? Like it was just, it goes beyond that. And when he really outlines it and he's like, yeah, it's like you're sanctioned, but there's no due process. There's no appeal. And it's like, oh yeah, like it's like they've just almost de facto made dealing like you having financial rails illegal without having to go through the legal system. And Nathan in the chat, I think the Tuttle twins had a song about this. Money is controlled, money is corrupted. Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, it's wild to see. We've seen it here in Canada. We got a nice big taste of it, but I mean, it's everywhere. And you know, if people think that Bitcoin is useless for people, let alone just if focusing on the West, saying, oh, money is useless or Bitcoin is useless for people in the West. I mean, it's just because it hasn't affected you yet. Not that it won't. It's just currently you haven't experienced it. And yeah, man, things are changing.
Things are changing without a shadow of a doubt. Things are getting crazy. They're getting spicy. But we're winning, man. Like all the news, all the international news, I try to like put it all together. It's not a coincidence that this is all happening after Trump won, right? This is countries getting ready for a pro Bitcoin / crypto administration in the United States, and they're like, oh my God, we don't want to get caught with our pants down. But I will say this, January 20th is when Trump gets inaugurated. I'll maybe give him the first day as a pass, but starting January 21st, if Ross is not free, I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to be tweeting about it every single day until Ross is freed, because that was one of the things that Trump promised our community that helped him win this election. So it's very important that we hold politicians accountable for the things that they promised us on the campaign. I think Ross will be freed. I just don't know if it's going to happen on day one. Maybe that was part of the sale. But you know, we gotta put pressure. We gotta make our voices loud. And I think with social media now, everybody has the ability to do that. Really make your voice heard. So that's my take on everything. Guys, this was your Simply Sessions for November 28th. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And Ben, I will see you next week.
Hell yeah. Thanks for being here, man. And everybody else, stick around. Again, if you want to continue joining myself on Thanksgiving, we got tech updates and some SAT giveaways and stuff to still come. Of course, make sure you follow Nico over at Simply Bitcoin. They do the news 6 days a week, along with a ton of other fire content. We're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, given that my technical difficulties off the top of the show. And we'll be back in a moment. Make sure you get your Lightning wallets ready, because we got a SAT giveaway coming right up. But of course, first, a shout out to our sponsors. Be right back. One of the best places to be buying and selling Bitcoin in Canada and the US. And now with the advent of Bitcoin Well Infinite, high net worth individuals can enjoy an OTC desk with white glove experience tailored to transactions of $50,000 or more. This helps high net worth individuals, family offices, businesses, and trusts secure the best prices and execute large transactions with speed and efficiency. You can expect personalized service, rapid fulfillment, no slippage, custom trade structures, risk management guidance, and global buy and sell capabilities. And hey, if you're not a high net worth individual, not to worry, you can still benefit. If you sign up and you refer people through your personalized link, any fees paid on their first purchases will earn you 21% of those fees. So you can check them out today. There's a link down below to sign up, or you can simply scan the QR code on the screen. Bitcoin Well, check them out today. Keeper is a fully open source Bitcoin app created to help you stack sats long term. Easily use your hardware devices or assisted keys to create multi-sig wallets and plan your inheritance. Head over to bitcoinkeeper.app to download the app and use code BTC Sessions 30 to get a 30% discount on your first subscription. Debify.com allows you to borrow against your Bitcoin in a non-custodial way. Collateral is held in a 3 of 4 distributed multi-sig with trusted parties. It provides institutional liquidity providers, loan periods of up to 5 years with flexible conditions and the best rates. And best of all, no rehypothecation of your funds. If you want to check them out today, head over to debify.com or hit the link in the show notes down below. All right, and we are back in. Get those Lightning wallets ready. We're going to do a SAT giveaway. I am over here on bitcoinwell.com. Of course, awesome place to be stacking sats. They are available Canada, Okay, I think. Wow. Sorry, Canadian internet not holding up well. But guys, let's give away some sats here. I'm gonna pull up bitcoinwell.com. Get your Lightning wallets ready. We're gonna toss a coin in the Bitcoin wishing well. So apologies for that, but hopefully we can do it. Where is wow? Everything is just not going well for me here. I suppose, but geez, everything's just disappearing. All right. Well, I'll get that pulled up in a moment, but let's dive into our news. All right. Keep those Lightning wallets ready. I'll have them ready. I'll have that ready at the end for you. Sorry, it's throwing me for a loop today. I don't know what the hell's going on with the connection, but let's keep going. Lots of Noster news today. Okay, so up first, OLS version 0.1.4 Instagram like Noster client. So of course, Noster can look like Twitter, can look like a lot of different things. Instagram feed basically. So the interesting things about this reels, so the short kind of vertical videos, you can get those in the Nutsack mint list edits. So Nutsack is like eCash baked in to your Noster key, which is awesome. So you can instantly receive money, and it's all just encoded to your own public private key. Multi-image uploads, that's also pretty nice. I sometimes trying to upload one thing at a time, big pain in the butt. So love to see that. I'm gonna have to try this client. I have not yet tried OLS, so that's on my radar. And just to kind of show the we'll say the versatility of everything with Noster, Flotilla is Discord like Noster clients for relay-based communities. So more or less, if you're into Discord, you can do your rooms, your threads, all these different things, which is super cool. Again, like seeing the different ways that you can interact with Noster. It is whatever you make of it. I'm gonna make it through this stream. I swear to God, if it kills me, for good measure, I'm gonna put up one of these because holy Lord, this one is testing me.
Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
Let's keep going. We're powering through. I will make it to the end of the stream. I swear to you. All right. RoboSats version 0.7.3 alpha LNP2P bot orders and Noster order books on Android. This is cool. So if you're unfamiliar with RoboSats, peer-to-peer Bitcoin trading so that you can buy and sell Bitcoin. And this was previously done. You can get it on like Start9. You can use it over Tor. But nonetheless, now you can also use LNP2P bot, which is a different marketplace, and you can view those orders here, and it utilizes Noster as well. So awesome stuff to see. It is alpha, so of course things can go wrong, but really cool. I'm gonna have to, again, there's just a list a mile long. But yeah, there it is. Android app can now use Noster to fetch orders in the order book, and that's yeah. Noster is amazing, isn't it? As I see, Spaceman, I see you in the Noster chat. Thanks for being here and supporting this janky episode. We're doing it live. Hey, moving on. Umbrel version 1.3.0 swappable apps, Cloudflare DNS, factory reset, and more. So swappable apps is kind of the big thing here. What does that mean? Well, users can choose which Bitcoin node app they want to run. Bitcoin node, Knots, Libra Relay. You can select your preferred Electrum server app, so ElectRS, Fulcrum, Electrum X. So you can basically swap in how you want to utilize Bitcoin, and I imagine other things like Electrum. Again, the ability to enable Cloudflare DNS for improved reliability. You can do factory reset now in the advanced settings, and then just some performance UIs improvements. From there, I did drop a new tutorial this week. Very excited about this one. God, it took a long time. There's some troubleshooting that I had to do because a lot of manual stuff just with the new version 2.0. But I got it out, and super awesome. BTCPay Server. So check it out. I start with the basics, setting it up using an on-chain wallet, setting up your own Lightning node. But if you don't want to set up the Lightning node, you can swap it out for a Strike account or a Blink account. And I show how to do both those things, and then how to access it, create stores, create crowdfunding, point of sale terminal, all that kind of stuff. Awesome. There will be follow-ups to this. It's going to be a series with BTC Pay. So another follow-up to that will come probably through in the next few weeks here. I've got a whole bunch of things planned around it. So be sure to check those out. So a couple notes. It's Black Friday tomorrow. So be sure to check out some of the awesome deals. So CoinKite, they now in their store have 20% off everything already. So if you want to check them out, head over to CoinKite. I'll put that up over on the side so I don't block the screen too much for you. But yeah, if you don't have a cold card queue, or if you're looking for presents to put in people's stockings, highly recommend scan that QR code on the screen, head over to CoinKite, and you can snag just all of this stuff for 20% off. Do be aware. I don't know. I don't think it applies to like big bundles. I'm not sure. But either way, you can get some pretty good deals. You can get much cheaper cold cards and tap signers and all that stuff over the next few days up until Monday, Cyber Monday. So make sure that you take advantage and gift your friends and family the gift of securing their own sats, which would be awesome. Also, on another note, Bitcoin Black Friday. This is actually, so if you go to bitcoinblackfriday.com, it's going to redirect you. They've got a whole bunch of deals over at the Bitcoin magazine website. So they've got print, apparel, hardware, merch, all that kind of stuff. Super awesome. So if you want some deals there, again, bitcoinblackfriday.com just redirects to exactly where I am. So they do this every year, which is awesome. Moving on from there, Christmas special. Guys, you have no idea how excited I am for this. It's coming. Bitcoin Black Friday, great. Christmas special, better. So I'm very excited. The guest list. Let's just get down to this because I filled it all in now. So I'm going to give you guys a little rundown. Check this out. So if you haven't seen the Christmas show before, I love it. It's my favorite time of year. 30-minute panels with various guests, and we just rotate through to the end. And then there is an after party. So you're not seeing that here, but there's going to be a whole bunch of people at the after party as well. So panel 1, macro. Larry Lepard, Peter St. Onge, and Parker Lewis. Freedom Technology up next with Max Hillebrand, Jeff Booth, and the Empty Space, Rockstar Dev. We've got Home Mining with Matt Cratter, Bitcoin Mechanic, and Preston Pish. We've got Human Rights with Gladstein, CK, and Anna Chekovich. We've got The Road Ahead, Inflection Points with Pete Rizzo, Mike Germano, and Who did I pair in there? Oh yeah, Efrat Fenningson. She's fantastic. Of course, we've got Undoing the Fiat Standard, Health and Home, Fiat Food, all that. So I've got the author of Fiat Food, Matthew Lisiak. We've got TC from Time Chain Calendar and Zuby. We've also got Sovereignty, Location, Practical Skills, Digital Hygiene with Katie from Plan B Passport, Matt Hill from Start9, and Dakota Cohen, a guy who teaches people how to do their own homesteads, and he's part of the SAT market here in Calgary. And then we've got, of course, I had to name it the best panel of the night with Madex, American Hodl, and Harry Suddock filling in that last slot. And then we'll finish it up with an after party where plenty of people will pop on by to say hello. It'll be a great time. That is on December 20th. I'm starting it early, and it's going to be a beast. It runs like 6 hours. So get your eggnog, settle in, light the fire, sit in front of the tree, sit back, relax, and join us for some festive holiday fun. Oh, it's going to be a good time. And before then, tomorrow, why are we bullish? Open mic, Jesse Schrader, Selly, they're all here. It's going to be an awesome time. So yeah, be sure to come and have some fun with us tomorrow. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm going to round out. Of course, again, it's kind of, everything's all kind of weird today. So I want to give a quick shout out to one last sponsor, and then we'll give away some sats here at the end. So, okay, Lightning wallets ready if you don't have them.
Speed is one of the fastest growing Bitcoin Lightning wallets out there. It is a fast and secure way to send and receive Bitcoin and stablecoin payments instantly. You can even swap between Bitcoin and stablecoins directly in the app. Also in the app, you can buy gift cards for all the best brands and earn rewards in the process. To download Speed, simply scan the QR code on the screen, click the links in the show notes down below, and use code BTC Sessions 10 to get 5,000 sats for free.
All right. Okay, let's do this. Let's finally give away some sats. Sorry for the delay there, folks. But we're on bitcoinwell.com. I'm going to redeem the points, toss a coin in the well, and off it shall go. Scan that with your Lightning wallets. Whoever gets it first is going to snag 500 sats. Congrats, whoever does. Let me know in the comments down below if you do. And if you do, congrats, of course. And furthermore, this isn't the only way that you can earn sats. If you want to become an affiliate of Bitcoin Mentor, of course, you can do that. This is my company where people can come and learn one-on-one video sessions with our team of educators, anything from wallets to hardware to multi-sig to whatever it is, you name it, they'll help you through your learning journey. But you're going to have a lot of people asking you over the incoming bull market. So if you don't have the time or perhaps patience to do so, but you want to earn some sats and have your friends, family, and acquaintances be able to secure their funds the right way, then send them over to Bitcoin Mentor. You can scan that QR code on the screen, sign up to become a Bitcoin Mentor affiliate. And then anytime you share your personal link with people and they sign up to do a session, you will earn $21 paid to you in sats at the end of the month. And that's not just for their first session, it's for every single session that they end up booking. So it's a pretty solid way to be stacking sats while new Bitcoiners stack skills. Anyways, guys, with that, I'm going to end this incredibly janky episode. I'm going to fix my internet and we'll be back tomorrow for an episode of Why Are We Bullish? Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like, sub, share, all those things. They help a ton. With that, I'm out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening wherever you may be. See you guys next time for your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.